Hi, I'm Joshua Hayward. Thanks for joining me in this video, which is the latest edition of Straight from the Source, my astrological update, an informational resource and perspective on the times in which we live. And today the topic has to do with the two eclipses of November 2012. And we have just passed through the first eclipse, which sort of opened a gateway, and it's like a two-week gateway, and which always happens with eclipses. There's a solar and a lunar, which are 2 weeks apart. Sometimes there's three, which is very, very unusual. In this case, we have two, and the first one is in Scorpio, or was in Scorpio, on the 13th of November, and the sun and the moon were conjunct the north node of the moon, which is a point that we consider to be like a destiny point, something that we're moving towards and reaching towards. Well, this conjunction of the sun and the moon and this new moon or solar eclipse was pretty close to that north node of the moon, so it brings in a very deeply Scorpio theme to this particular part of the gateway. As it opens up, we're going through with the energy of transformation, with death and rebirth, very intense energies. Also, the planet Saturn is earlier in the sign of Scorpio, although not completely conjunct or aligned, still in that realm of Scorpio, which brings some more intensity to it. So we're really in this transformational death rebirth. Also, you're talking about resources, economy, finance. Then this can be on individual levels and also transpersonal levels, or societal levels of these issues that are happening. Scorpio also pertains to sexuality sometimes. It pertains to hidden things, deeper meanings, morals, and so there's some really tough issues, and sometimes even life and death issues. Once again, on a personal level, on personal levels and societal levels. So what else is going on during as this gateway opens up? We are having to let old ways die and to call in and embrace new ways, but we have to get way inside ourselves on so many different levels to find out what's real and to see what needs to be renewed. It's also a time, I think, this gateway has to do with purification and bringing in what's real and acknowledging our truth and purifying ourselves as we move to these things. Another thing that was going on with the stars, with the planets in this gateway, is Mars, the male planet, being conjunct the galactic center at 27 degrees Sagittarius. Mars aligning with this center of who we are, and the galaxy is our home, and it's a huge home that we're in, but it's our corner of our little niche in the universe. And so there's a deep connection with Mars energy wanting to align itself or realign itself in a very, once again with the Scorpio nature, a transformational way. So if we're going to hold an authentic male presence, that's a really good thing, a very more enlightened male presence. It's very interesting that as that happens, we see in the news the leader, the military leader of the United States forces in the Middle East, Petraeus, all of a sudden involved in this incredibly convoluted sexual scandal. And sort of representational in some ways of like us needing to rethink military energy and transform ourselves by having male energy that wants to be aligned more with feminine energy. And because when we move into the winter solstice and beyond, it's considered the rebirth of the divine feminine. So we've got feminine energy that really, if male energy really listens to intuition, it listens to the feminine for guidance and then acts in accordance with that. I mean, that's got more to do with enlightenment. So if you look at it from that perspective, it's very interesting to see that in the news. I have no judgment, or I could care less about what anyone does with their personal lives, but it's just a reflection maybe of what we need to work with now, with these energies that are present in this gateway. So what else is going on? Saturn in Scorpio is on a really positive trine energy to the wounded healer Chiron and Neptune. So we're talking about spiritual healing and spiritual alignment and attunement with our day-to-day lives and with the so it's like a karmic time. Neptune and Saturn are very karmic planets, and so there's an alignment with the spiritual or invisible or non-physical planes with the Saturn karma of what we're dealing with in physical bodies, and as we go through linear time-space with our lifetimes. So renewal of our day-to-day lives with spiritual energy of Neptune and the wounded healing energy of Chiron. These two in the sign of Pisces, another water sign. Pisces really in this case I think has to do with releasing fear to heal ourselves and move into more conscious co-creation with our energy. And as we shift paradigms, so alignment with these karmic energies and healing, which is, I think, a very positive take. This is the first part of the gateway. The gateway opens up, and the stuff that I've just mentioned really is the nature that pertains to that kind of thing. So this is, I think, very positive. Saturn opposed Neptune a few years ago, and Neptune was in the sign of Aquarius, and it hadn't yet moved into Pisces, and Saturn was back a couple of signs. It was in the sign of Leo, and yeah, so that was quite a bit of time. It's 3 signs before. Now it's into Scorpio. So as those 2 planets opposed, it was trying to open up conscious co-creation because of the creative force of Leo, and trying to spiritually awaken Neptune and Aquarius and move beyond our fears to achieve our goals and to know who we are through conscious co-creation. Now these two, that was a big challenge and that was tough. And now with these 2 planets, Neptune and Saturn, aligning by the trine, there's sort of a, yeah, we can let go of our fears. We can, and then yes, we can transform ourselves, and we can move into more resources. We can change how we deal with the economy. We can change with our personal finances. We can allow ourselves to be more in tune with our own personal power, our own authentic presence of that Mars transformation that I was talking about. And yes, we can call in the divine feminine. We can also join our egos and our personalities, drop our ego limited perspectives, and join with what our souls really want. Certainly we should do that individually if we are so inclined. That would be a major part of this the beginning of this gateway that just opened up on the 13th. The next part of the gateway is on the 28th. That will be the lunar eclipse, and I will talk about that in the part 2 of this two-part series of these two eclipses, the solar and lunar eclipses of November. And so I'm going to sign off right now, and I'm hoping that you can just switch right over and watch part 2 and find out about the lunar eclipse. And until I see you again, in one way or another in this lifetime, namaste and be well.